Hey guys, how you doing? So, just got back from Bewley, or been back for a few hours now. A little bit gutted, so I thought I'd just check the car when I got back, make sure everything was okay. And it was driving fine there and back. Had a bit of a spirited drive back with my friend and his Mark III Cooper S. So we didn't hang about coming back, and probably used all the horsepower PL's got to offer and most of the RPMs as well. But when we got back, didn't have any overheating or anything, but I'm just looking at the engine. I don't know whether you can see it on here, but there's water stains on the front of the head there, and the water stains come down from in between the head and the block joint there, run down the front of the head. So it hasn't lost much water. In fact, it doesn't even show low on the expansion bottle, but it's definitely been leaking out of that gasket there. So whether it was when I was driving it really hard, I don't know, but a bit gutted about that. I think just as a precaution, well, as I say, a precaution, pretty sure that's the start of the head gasket starting to leak at the front there. So sure, it'll probably last till the winter, but you know me, been on many spares already, ordered up a head gasket set, and we'll see what happens. Obviously I'll show you this when I start doing it, so let's see how long my patience is, but I'm pretty sure I'll probably get going on this pretty soon. I don't like knowing I've got potential problems there, so let's nip it in the bud early and get it done, I think. Okay guys, so I'm a little bit loath to do this. I took PL for its MOT today. Driving really nicely actually, nice drive down there. Passed its MOT, couple of advisories on the slight play on the rear radius arm, so need to get that done. It was a very slight play, but I'll get it done at some point, probably over the winter. But yeah, I'm just not happy with this head gasket. I'm sure it's leaking. I might be wrong. It's 37 quid for a head gasket set from Mini Spares. It's a few hours work, so I think for peace of mind, let's just whip the head off, have a look what's in, have a look and see what's going on. So I've also, from Bewley, I've got a new header tank, so that'd be good to put on it at the same time. So the first thing we're going to do is just get all the fluids out the engine. So the oil, I'm going to put it in a clean container because it's probably only done, I don't know, 50 or so miles on the engine oil. Don't think there's any cross contamination there, and we need to get the coolant out as well. So I'm just going to get cracking with that. Catch you in a bit. replacing this header tank because it's got sort of stress marks from where it's been pressurised and depressurised over the years. It started to crack. You see it along here as well, so eventually that's going to fail at some point. So just doing it now before it does fail. Right, kind of moment of truth now. Well, that is not what I was expecting. It don't look bad at all. Well, we'll get it off and have a look first, but looking alright along the front here. Strange. Need to get these push rods out and keep them in the same order. So we put them in a piece of card. Well, kind of the closer I look, the more it does look like it was probably the head gasket now, so I'll have to do a load more checks yet. You know, straight edge on the head, need to check none of the push rods are bent, make sure all the water jackets are clear and that sort of thing. But if you look along this front edge on here, it's not so much on the back, you'll see it's clean metal around here. But if you look on this front edge, there's some corrosion there. You can scrape it off. So this engine was apart 4,000 miles ago. So that it had the bottom end rebuilt. So this would have all been clean and shiny, which it is over the back to a degree, but certainly along the front edge here, it's yeah, definitely signs of corrosion there, and that's where I could see it leaking from down here. We see the same on the head. So again, the back of the head, it's all looking okay. But when we come along the front, again we get this corrosion and rust along the front, particularly along here. This is where it looked like it was leaking from, so fingers crossed. I don't know why. Well, I need to check the head and make sure it's not warped or anything like that, but can you see what I mean? Down in this corner as well. So let's get it all cleaned up and see where we are. I think actually the more I look at this, the more it's becoming obvious. Like I say, when I've taken cars apart with head gaskets gone before, it's usually a bit more obvious, you know, that you can see a split in the gasket and that sort of thing. In the case of this, I don't think the gasket itself has failed. Well, it hasn't failed. The gasket looks fine actually, on both sides. But for whatever reason, it's just not made a great seal on here. So I don't know. It was done by a professional, so you'd think maybe it wasn't torqued correctly. But hey ho, it is what it is. And as I say, the more I look at it now, when you look at the round the edge here, these are called the fire rings, so they hold the combustion in the cylinder. And you can see round cylinder 4 there's a nice 360-degree ring. You can see defined where it's sealed up. So you look at number 3 here, and it goes round here, and there is no, you can't see the sealing, the firing mark there. And again on number 2, even on number 1 it's not so defined around this corner here. So let's just get it cleaned up. The head I think I'll strip down, I'll take the valves out, make sure they're okay. I'll get a straight edge on it. Might have it skimmed, depends. If it's nice and flat I won't bother, because skimming it will just increase the compression ratio. You know, it is what it is, it's correct as it is. It could make it worse by increasing the compression ratio. So let's have a look.